now we've got Visible Women, an organisation that aims to inspire, acknowledge and connect. They'll be doing a skills session. So, do you guys want to take it away? Do you need the mic?
Yes, I do.
Great.
Hi everyone. Hi. Okay, no, you're gonna have to do better than that. Hi everyone. Hi. Okay, great. Hold on one moment. So, I am Naivasha, and I am from an organisation called Elevation Networks. And Elevation Networks, we are a youth charity that seek to make students from underrepresented backgrounds more employable in the labour market. Visible Women is one of our campaigns, so I sit on the diversity team, and I work on initiatives for black and minority ethnic students and also women. And as International Women's Day is coming up on the 8th of March, we're doing various skills workshops, career workshops at schools and universities, just to inspire girls and get them thinking about where they want to be. So, this is me. I'm going to just talk a little bit about my story. One of the things we're going to focus on in this workshop is confidence. Just by show of hands, how many people would say that their confidence is on a 9? What about an 8? A 7? A 6? 5? Okay, what about a 10? Okay, that's good. So I think personally, confidence is a journey. I'm going to talk. So I've named this section "Born with Running Shoes." So my father always used to tell me that I was born with running shoes because he said that I've equipped you with the skills to wherever you have in your hand to just go. And I think it's quite important not to exclude men from this discussion. I was fortunate enough to have a father. So my father passed away when I was 7. And I was fortunate enough to have a father who actually identified as a feminist. And so the way in which my sister and I were raised was a bit different. First of all, we all have our own surnames. I have my own surname, my sister has her own surname, my mum has her own surname. And he did that because he said, I don't want you to feel like you need a man for anything. I want you to have your own identity and I don't want you to be tied to anything. So a lot of people think that's kind of weird. So I have my own name. My sister is her own person, my mum is her own person, and he actually wanted to take my mum's name. My mum was just like, no, that's weird. She was just like, let's not go that far. And one of the things that my dad did was he was a human rights researcher for Amnesty International and also the United Nations. And I think your story is quite important. So when I was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I left Congo at 4 months, and we moved to Togo, which is also in Africa. Lived there for a year, then we moved to Kenya, where I grew up, and then we moved to Ethiopia, and then we moved here when I was 6. And I feel like all those experiences have added to the person that I am today. And another thing that my dad did that kind of stayed with me is that he used to take me to work with him, and he always used to say to me, I never want you to feel like as a woman, you cannot enter this space. So my dad would go to debates, he would do radio for Channel 4, BBC. I would be sitting on his lap as he's doing a radio interview. And it was always that inclusion, that this is a space that is there for you as well. I want you to see what I do, and I want you to believe that you can do it. So for that, I'm very grateful, and that's why I've named this Born with Running Shoes, because I feel like, you know, all my life, throughout everything that I've been doing, I've always just taken it on the chin and been like, yeah, I can do it too. Because just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that, you know, there's no space for me. I went to uni and I graduated, nearly 4 years ago now. It goes really quick, guys. And I studied international development and politics. And I guess the one advice, if I could give advice to my younger self, I would say find out what you're passionate about. Because I feel like passion has followed me through everything that I've done. When I started going to uni, I said that I wanted to change the world. And I guess that's why I went to go and study international development and politics. But now I work for a youth charity and people are like, oh, but how did that work out? And I guess the common thread in all of that was wanting to give people a voice who don't have a voice. So with international development, that's kind of what I focused on. And then now I do that with diversity. So that's just a little bit about me. Okay, we're going to do a quick icebreaker. So in your rows, I want you to start talking to each other. I know you guys have been sitting down for a little bit. So in your rows, I would like you guys to come up with a definition of confidence in 7 words. And I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to do that. Is that okay? Can everybody? Don't be shy. Yeah? Knowing you can do what you want. Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to go to, let's see, that group there, you. With the red top or, yeah, pink top.
So, we've got 6 words.
Okay.
We've got confidence is being proud of yourself.
Confidence is being proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to come to this group here.
3 words together and try to make a sentence. Speaking your mind. Awareness of qualities.
Speaking your mind.
Hello?
Awareness of your qualities and capabilities and the ability to demonstrate that.
Okay, a bit more than 7 words, but yeah, we get it. What about, let's see, you on the end there? Yeah, you? Having the courage to be self-assured. Okay, so we've got some good definitions of what confidence is. we're going to watch this quick video, which I found, which is basically a group of women who work in male-dominated industries talking about being yourself.
Because otherwise you find that you feel very uncomfortable. There are times that maybe you've become dressing feminine. Someone may have underestimated me, but I thought it was a compromise I was willing to make. In the 80s, when I started working a long time ago, women dressed like men. So the successful formula was to wear a blue suit with we had those bow ties, do you remember? And I wore them for a while, but I didn't feel good in them. And then when I moved to California and I moved to Silicon Valley, I felt I had the creative freedom to be myself. And so I threw out all that nonsense and I started dressing like I wanted to dress. And I never compromised from that point on.
My boss in television, who I absolutely thought was fantastic, and is one of my big mentors and taught me very much about how to work in a team, but once asked me if that was what I was going to wear tonight to a meeting where we had to impress a gentleman who notoriously quite liked ladies, and he said, would I go home and put on a dress? And to my shame, I went home and put on a dress.
Dress is I think it's quite an important part of our uniform, of how we try and send out our image in different situations and contexts. But I don't think you should just wear something smart because you think that's the way you're supposed to dress.
I nearly always wear trousers now, dating from the days when you want a mini skirt, trotted in and somebody said, sell the software on your legs, because I had and have still quite good legs.
My sister used to say to me, Tanya, in order to be taken seriously, you need to wear your hair in a bun, wear no makeup, and speak in a more aggressive tone. And that just wasn't me.
Dressing in a way that's still about you, but sometimes you need those pair of high shoes, sometimes you need something that's incredibly, that you think is meant to be a statement about you.
I wanted to meet her this wild hair, and have this sometimes, I would say glamorous, but kind of funky style. But that was just a personal reflection of myself.
Do whatever it takes, I think, to make yourself feel, I can stand tall in this room.
I have often thought women have felt the need to dress in uniform in a way that I feel I certainly haven't had to do in a creative industry, to be presentable. Maybe I'm going to look completely unpresentable on this camera, but I've never wanted to wear a suit, and I've always thought, how can I be the most of myself and still be acceptable and presentable and in charge enough to run something and to to know that it's all right to spend this £1 million on this project?
Sometimes I think people are worried about it too much, and they worry about fitting in or being one of the boys. And I actually don't really think that you need to worry about that.
I'm probably a very competitive person, and if I'm not going to kind of look like Angelina Jolie, then I'm probably just not going to enter that competition, so I kind of opted out of that.
You can be whoever you want to be. It really is up to what's going on in your imagination, and it really doesn't matter what your outward appearance is. It doesn't matter if you're into fashion or not into fashion. It doesn't matter if you're a tomboy or if you're really, really ultra feminine, or you're both. It really doesn't matter.
There was a real definite turning point in my career. It happened in the mid-90s, and it's when I came out to my boss. What it taught me at the time was the importance of being authentic, and up until then I'd always left part of myself at home, and after that conversation I really felt that I could be the whole of me in the business, and that was a phenomenally liberating and confidence-building experience.
Being authentic is absolutely true. If you try and pretend to be somebody that you're not, you'll fail. So understanding who you are, your own values, and bringing those into your work situation. And yes, learning the lessons from other women who may have gone before you and the pitfalls, but be yourself, I think, is the most important lesson I would convey to anybody else.
Great. So I thought that was quite an important video to watch, because one of the things that is crucial to being confident is being comfortable with.
Really funny.
Oh.
When you see something.
Is being comfortable with who you are. So when I graduated from university, and I went for loads of job interviews before I actually got a job. And there was one thing that somebody told me that changed the game for interviewing for me. And it really allowed me to walk into the room and be like, yeah, this is who I am, I know this, and this is what I can bring to the table. And she said to me, when you walk into an interview, you have to remember that not only are you being interviewed, but you are interviewing them. Because you are interviewing them to see whether you want to work there, whether they will develop you. So when, like, who's ever been to an interview, and you know they have that bit at the end where they're like, have you got any questions for us? Right, and do some people sometimes struggle with questions? Right. When I go to an interview and they ask me, oh, okay, have you got any questions for us? I've already done all my research, and I ask them questions such as, how will you, as an employer, develop me as a person? Or, when I leave here, what will I have? What will I have gained from you to make me a better person? Or in what ways can you challenge me as a person? Because they need to see that you are somebody who wants to progress, you are somebody who cares about their future, and you also need to see whether you want to work there as well. So definitely just remember to be yourself, be confident, and never ever get disheartened. It's easier said than done. I went to loads of job interviews, and there's been countless amount of times I walked out of there and I was like, I don't think I got it, Mum. But one of the things that always helps me is that if they don't like me in an interview stage, then maybe that's not somewhere that I should be, and that's always comforted me. So the next thing I want you to do, does everybody have the yellow sheets of paper? You don't have to do this now, you can take a picture of it, but I want you to start thinking about the woman that you want to be. So one is one word to describe the woman you want to be in the next 5 years. 2 steps you are going to take to get there. And 3 things that are stopping you from being that woman. You can take these home, and I did a workshop yesterday at Southampton, and a lot of the girls said that they wrote it down and they're going to like stick it on their wall and look at it. But it's quite important to think about the way in which you want to become that woman. So think about, when you say one word to describe the woman you want to be, so for me, my one word is pioneer. So I want to be a pioneer, and 2 steps that I'm going to take to get there, and then 3 things that are going to stop me from being that woman. So that might be lack of confidence, that might be doubt, that might be fear. So just take that home and think about that. So I want to introduce to you a young lady called Sophia. So Sophia goes to the University of Birmingham and is part of our Elevation Network's student leadership program. And so she's going to be with us for 12 months, and she's kind of helping us out on projects that we do. I think it's quite important to look at people around you, people who are your age, who have done some amazing things and can also inspire you. They don't always have to be 10 years older than you. I think it's quite important to look amongst your own circle and find inspiration. So can we please give Sophia a round of applause?
Thank you, hello. Oh, got my name on it and everything. First and foremost, I'm Sophia Tarkwood. I go to the University of Birmingham. But when I'm not a student, I perform, I give speeches, I give motivational talks. And a big part of what I do, naturally, does involve a lot of self-confidence and self-esteem. It can be very hard to go on stage and talk in front of thousands of people if you struggle with self-confidence. But ironically, my problem with self-confidence never actually came from being on stage. In fact, that's where I felt most comfortable. It came from low self-esteem in general. So from the age of, I think, 15 to 16, I've really struggled with self-confidence, and you could say that I still do now. But it wasn't on stage. It was when I was sitting at home with my family and everyone was having conversations, everyone was throwing out their opinions, and I was too scared to talk. I was too scared to voice my opinion. I was scared about how they would be perceived. And naturally, this kind of carried on into secondary school. So when I came into university, I'm a second year now, when I came into university, one of the first things I said was, when I come to university, I'm going to be this confident person. Self-confidence is going to be my forte. In fact, when people see me, they're going to be like, yeah, that girl is so confident, or she's got so much self-esteem, like she's got very high self-esteem. That's what I wanted. That was the feeling I wanted to embody. And as Naivasha said earlier, self-confidence isn't just a feeling, it is a journey. You have to take a step to achieve a certain amount of self-confidence. And one thing that made me realise that was living in my house. I live with a house of 4 other girls, so there's 5 of us all together. 2 feminists, 1 womanist, 1 poet, and 1 person who doesn't really care about feminism or anything like that. And when we have our conversations that take us from 11 PM to 5 AM in the morning, they tend to be about women's liberation, the revolution, extraterrestrial existence, just these really deep conversations where we become these scholars, like these underneath 21 scholars. And when I first came in, I thought, yeah, this is where I'm going to do my self-confidence thing. This is where I'm going to shine. And I used to voice my opinions on feminism. I used to be against the term feminism, funny enough. Sorry to Pops. I used to be against the term feminism because I thought that doesn't invoke equality. In fact, it divides. And that was my opinion, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to be so confident in my opinion. I'm going to argue with all of my housemates. But what my housemates had done that I hadn't was research. They had examples to prove my point absolutely null, void, redundant, ridiculous, in fact. I'd say something, they'd be like, well, how can you say that when you think about the women's liberation movements, the movements that women have caused because of feminism? And that's when I realised I can't embody self-confidence if I've done nothing to take those steps to be confident. So think about when you're going clubbing. Who here goes to the University of Birmingham? So most people here. Let's say you're going to Snobs or Fab and Fresh or Tuesdays. The getting ready process. There's 5 of us in the house, we have 2 showers, so it's to pretty much shotgun the shower when you want to use it. So let's say we're going for pre-drinks at 11:30, we want to be in the shower by 8, 9ish. So my journey, I take my nap, I eat my bread, I wake up, I go in the shower, I wash my hair, do what I need to do, I come out, I'm in my bathroom. I do my hair, I straighten my hair, I do my makeup, my foundation, my concealer, I contour my nose, I do my eyelashes, everything. Everything I need to do to reach this point where I can take a selfie and be really proud of it when I go out. So we all go downstairs when we're all ready. There's 5 girls in the house, there's a lot of female power in my house, so we walk down, it's like, ooh, child, we're all over each other's Snapchats. And it's lovely, you feel really empowered. And when it's all girls pre-drinks, it's even better. But anyway, so that's self-confidence. And we've taken these steps to reach that level of self-confidence. If I decided to wake up and then go to Snobs, it would have been, I wouldn't have taken a selfie, we wouldn't have had the whole female power thing. In fact, they probably would have insulted me. I would have felt bad about myself. It would have been the complete opposite, in fact. But because we had taken these steps to achieve self-confidence, we were able to bask in that high self-esteem. So when we did go clubbing, it was a very, very enjoyable, when we do go clubbing, in fact, it's a very, very enjoyable experience. I'm a poet. And as much as I said self-confidence was something that I had to battle off stage, every now and then it is something I have to battle on stage. As someone earlier was talking about, we're all going to be going through interviews, so be that for a postgraduate job or an internship. We're going to have to think on the spot. We're going to have to become this confident person on the spot. And no matter how well you've prepared, sometimes it is really hard. I had an experience where I was performing at KPMG 2 years ago, and I was 16 or 17. I was sitting on a chair just like this, and on the panel just behind was Baroness Amos, Tim Campbell, and a whole bunch of other really, really important people that you don't want to mess up in front of. And I was sitting down shaking. And I do get stage fright occasionally, but most of the time it's manageable. I was sitting on the side shaking. My mum was sitting next to me, my boyfriend was sitting behind me, ex-boyfriend was sitting behind me. And I was shaking, I was an absolute mess. And I figured if I went on stage the way I'm feeling now, it would be a write-off. Absolute write-off. Someone would take a picture, I'd probably collapse. I just thought it'd be the worst thing in the world if I went on stage like this. So the 3 steps I had to do, and which I do continue to do, be that on stage, off stage, before an interview. Firstly, take deep breaths. I had to breathe in and out, calm down my nerves, and remember who I was, really pull myself together. I'm Sophia Tarkle. They've invited me here to speak because they like the way I speak. So hold it down. Hold it down for your name, if anything else. The second thing I had to do was say the first line in my head. So if you find yourself in an interview, something that you've learned about the company, repeat it to yourself, so you have that to go on when you do go into the interview. And the third thing I had to do was ask myself, why am I here? And that's when you find yourself giving yourself all the reasons as to why you have been invited. You can look around you and be like, everyone else has spoken. All of these people have come on stage and spoken and given really, really good speeches and performances. Why can't I? If they can do it, why can't I? I'm here for a reason. And sometimes you'll be in a situation where there isn't a they. There isn't anyone else who is in this situation. It just has to be you. And as Naivasha said, you have to look at yourself in the future. You have to see your end goal, and that's your they. When you're inside an interview, sometimes that is your they. If Sophia is going to be at this point in 5 years, Sophia has to overcome this hurdle right now. Sophia has to hold it down and perform in front of these people and not faint and not sweat and not embarrass herself. She needs to take this little step to achieve that goal. And with all these little steps, as they build up, you find yourself on a platform, and that platform is self-confidence. Because if you have self-confidence without these steps, that's arrogance. Arrogance isn't nice. We don't like arrogance. Self-confidence is what we want to go for. So that is me, and that is my journey of self-confidence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophia. One of the things that I want to leave you with is to make a plan on how you're going to become that woman. I did a really, really powerful exercise once, and it wasn't thinking about 5 years ahead, it was actually thinking about 60 years ahead. And the lady that was facilitating the session, she told us all to close our eyes and to think through our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, and get to our 80th birthday. And then you get to your 80th birthday, your eyes are still closed, our eyes were closed for like 10 minutes. You get to your 80th birthday, and she said, people are throwing you an elaborate birthday party. You've got all the people that love you, your friends, your family, people you've known for years at this 80th birthday party. And you're sitting at the side of the stage, and one by one, all these people that love you are getting on the stage, and they're talking about all the wonderful things you've done with your life. And then she said, what are they saying that you've done with your life? And she said, think about all the things that they're saying. And she said, all right, cool. Take yourself back through your 70s, 60s, 50s, come back to your 20s, and write down all those things that she said. And I found that was really, really powerful, because all the things that I was writing down, I was thinking, oh my goodness, like in the back of my mind, these are things that I actually really want to do, but I'm too scared to voice. So, for example, on my list, I had, so people were saying this, I was writing this, people were saying, she wrote a book that changed my life. She directed a documentary that inspired people to go and do wonderful things. She was a mother of 4 amazing children who were like scholars and things like that. Another thing that I said was that she had a PhD, like had a research piece or a PhD in something. And I just thought, oh my goodness, these are all the things that I want to do with my life. And I found that so effective, because I was just like, all right, if these are the things, are the secret things that I want to do with my life, what does that mean that I have to do today? So the steps that I took from that exercise, so okay, I want to have a PhD in something, I need to go and do my master's, I'm applying for my master's this year. I want to write a book that changes somebody's life, I joined a writing class. So if you start to think about things that far, sometimes it helps you like focus your steps today. And following on from that, personal development plans. Has anyone ever written one? Just by show of hands. Okay, not many people. I implore you, or after this session, in your quiet time, to go and write yourself a personal development plan. Feel free to take a picture of this. But firstly, you have to define your goals. Secondly, you have to prioritize. Third, set yourself deadlines. Deadlines are really important, and be accountable to yourself. And if you can't be accountable to yourself, find yourself an accountability partner. I have an accountability partner, and that is somebody who, if I say, do you know what, on this day I want to do something, that person will write it down in their diary and send me a text on the morning saying, have you done it? And yeah, I do it because I feel like, okay, I'm accountable to somebody. Understand your strengths, understand what you're really good at. It's very important to do that. Recognize your opportunities and threats. Are you somebody that procrastinates a lot? Are you somebody that isn't really confident in an area? Recognize that and own it so that you know how to deal with it. Develop new skills if you have to. Take action. Get support. Talk to people. Your network is your net worth. And also measure your progress and see how far you've come. So that is what I want to leave you with. Thank you so much for having us. And if you'd like to keep in contact, we do have a website and we are quite active on Twitter. Thank you so much.